Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the playback. I set up chat this time so that my live chat replays. I also realized that about 70% of my viewers watch on a TV, which is okay. I understand that we access our media however possible. Um, I'm on here a little bit early today. It's 2:30 about my time, Eastern Standard Time, North America. And I'm just here to do my release radar playlist. I'm doing a little bit different today. I've got my laptop in front of me. Let me move my phone around. Let you see what the digs are. So I've got the laptop set up. I am recording through my Samsung Note 20 phone. I believe it's a Note 20. My S23 Ultra is there, which I'm not using. But the microphones and all the sounds will be coming through this phone. I'll be controlling the browsing software, which is Spotify this week. I'll be controlling the release radar through my laptop, through the system there. All the system details are listed in previous videos. So this will be about half hour-ish, 40 minutes from top to bottom. I'll play through all the song titles and try to read off what I can. Typically, I have my tablet to show the songs, so I might show the songs through my phone while they're playing through. And we'll just leave the phone sort of mounted in the tripod here, and we'll browse through these songs together. And in the chat and comments, if you wish, leave some questions, some comments, any sort of questions that you have about the channel or otherwise. I can answer them while we go. And the first song that was on this list is probably inspired by my recent playlist for when I'm like falling asleep, which is essentially like a very slow sounding, falling asleep kind of music, Buddha groove type of thing. So my playlist this week was influenced by my new sleeping playlist, which is going to be kind of funny. Some of the songs are going to be rather slow, but as always, my playlist is made up of a whole week of influences, and we're going to hear a lot of different stuff on this playlist. So if you're into finding new music and you've came across the channel and you're not really sure what to expect, this is sort of like showcasing a DJ setup, kind of, not really. Spotify is playing all the songs for me, and throughout my listening week, all the different stuff I get suggested, I'll just share them with my friends here and fans, and we'll talk about any kind of hi-fi and audio stuff that's going on. And you guys can have a listen to the song at home if you like it, and if you don't, then just hang on for a little while. The songs will play through. There's about 30 songs total on the playlist, and I won't play through the whole song. We'll just skip through them here, give everybody a little bit of a listen. If you haven't heard Cincato, I highly recommend him. Amazing guitarist, really good quality stuff. We'll give it about a minute for each song, which means this will be about 30 minutes rather than however long it would take for every song at full length. And we'll just browse through the list together. And if you got any questions, the live chat's set up. You can send messages anytime you wish. All messages should go through. And I did put on the chat replay so that my friends and fans can see what everybody is saying. And Theseus, what's going on? Floxy, what's going on? Thanks for being here and commenting. I do appreciate the interaction. Brittany McMurdy, hello. Thanks for commenting. I do appreciate the interactions. The big reason why I'm doing it live is so that I can actually have a talk with people rather than just talking at the camera. And you see the mirror, you see my hands over here. This is live, it's not AI. I'm actually moving my feet. If you want it louder, let me know. If I'm too loud, let me know. Send me any kind of feedback you wish. Again, the song that we're listening to here, Sincato. The song is called Ritual. This is off the new album. I think he just released this one recently. There's a number of different videos about this one. So, Lenticius, yeah, I haven't been here for a while. That's right. My live's normally a little bit later on in the day, and today I just decided to, just go on a little bit earlier, play some crazy stuff. So bear with me, everybody. The music changes every 50 seconds. If you don't like something, stick around and see what else comes up next. It's a mix meant for everybody. It's just all new to me. This is like a release radar, so I don't know what's going to happen here either. Ender. Just about 50 seconds. Everything's been going on well, keeping life together, keeping the work schedule together, keeping the audio information together, trying to focus a little bit more on short videos for YouTube. Also not trying to get caught up with the content race. I don't want to put content online just to have something online. I think that people's business model to create content for its own sake just to keep the channel floating is really boring. For me anyways, because a lot of what I see out there in 20 or 30 different channels is all repetitive. I already know the stuff, so I don't need to watch anything. So that's why my channel is a little bit different. I like to have a little bit more fun. I like to mix it up. I like to introduce some things that are not standard. And to all the content that's already out there, well, congratulations, it's already out there. I don't feel a need to have 10 or 15 versions of the same thing. All night long. Tice, Camouflage. Bear with me. We're going to change it up. PTR. Reverie. Spelt with an R-I-E instead of a Y. Cool. Yep. Going to browse through a bunch of different music here. This is going to be a short stream. Like I said, maybe 30 minutes-ish. Got any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything at all, just go ahead and put it in the comment section. The live will replay, so all the comments will show afterwards. That's something I meant to do with the last one. I did run into a person that came into the chat and was provoking some sort of comments and questions and wanted to get a reaction. And then when I called out some of their questioning and made some comments, they got really upset. And I'm like, well, that's gaslighting 101. And I don't want to enable people who are looking to abuse a live chat just to fill the comment sections with their own thoughts, and then they act like a victim after they say some really strange and weird things just to get attention. So I understand it's the public. I mean to do well by everybody who means well. It is what it is. All right, we're going to move on to the next song here. The next one, because I can see what's coming up. This one just released the other day. It is pretty heavy. It's Baby Metal and Slaughter to Prevail, which is a very heavy metal band. This song actually kicks off pretty hard. There we go. The song is called Song 3, and the collaboration between the two bands came out really well. Song 3, yeah. The video is pretty crazy for this too. Didn't look it up how it was made yet. Yeah, I believe they just collaborated in studio, and that's how they came together. And now they're going on a world tour, so that's pretty cool. All right, it's about a minute. I already said I was gonna do about a minute for each song, so there it is. Vasky, there's another EDM artist that hasn't been in the game for a little while. They make a lot of dubstep, a lot of drum and bass sort of stuff. And he just announced that he's been back in playing some new music. So here we are with a new song, Start My Engine. Yeah, Baby Metal should be a lot of fun. They put up a lot of production value in their shows. Very big stage, they're headlining. They've been at it for a long time, so it's actually pretty entertaining stuff. So this one's Vasky.
Let me start my engine.
Bass booster song, please. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm in.
Hang on.
This isn't an all request hour. You don't get to ask for songs here. You can suggest one though. Vasky, not bad. To be honest, that's not really my favorite kind of music. Blade Runner, come again. This is like a classic drum and bass sort of style. Blade Runner is definitely one of my favorites. More my taste in music, if I'm honest. So this one just dropped recently as well. Cool, like old school vibes. The bass kicks in halfway through the, within the first minute, hopefully. Absolutely. I mean, I appreciate it. Some of these songs, if you want to check them out, Blade Runner's got some really great songs. So if you want a suggestion, my honest opinion, check out Blade Runner for some of his bass. And of course, bass boosting songs, more for like the home theater crew, the subwoofer crew, the car audio crew. Yeah, the purpose of the stream today is to do release radar stuff. So right now we're tuning into this release radar, and Still Dre is an old song, so it's not going to be on this list. So it's a very specific stream I'm doing this time. Like I said, requests, you're going to have to, wait for it or pay for it. It's not a job. I'm doing this for my fun. We'll wait for the drop, and then we'll move on to the next one. Give the bass lovers some fun. It's got some good low end to it though. That bass line rolls. So check that out. Check out Blade Runner if you're into the bass. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Levela and Connie. Levela is one of my favorite, or has become one of my favorite drum and bass artists. So this one, Down and Dirty, probably has some pretty creepy sounds in it. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, if you're not into the song playing at any point, wait for 30 seconds, 50 seconds, we'll move on to another song. And you never know what comes up. And if you're curious, just give the song a look. Look it up on your own time, play it on your own system, see how it sounds. You never know. Could be something fun. That's why I'm doing it. Zoom in on the speakers here. Hold on. There you go. That's what it is. Levela, Down and Dirty. Undy says, you want bass? And I'm going to say no. No, I don't. I don't need any more bass. I don't need suggestions for bass. Weird looking speakers look like a face. Yeah, for a split second. Yeah, this one's Levela and Connie. Pretty cool song. We're going to move it on though. What else is in this list? Lindsey Sterling, the violin player. Evil Twin. So this should be interesting. Sounds Middle Eastern-ish vibes. Let's see what happens. What does release radar entail? Okay, let me bring it back. So this is what I call a release radar. It says catch all the latest music from artists you follow, plus new singles picked out for you. Updates every Friday. That's my screen name there. That's release radar. This is available via Spotify. This list will be specific to me, and every week I like to just scroll through it and give people a little bit of a listen. That's what it is. The main channel, the purpose of the video is to talk about like hi-fi gear, equipment, setting up your room. Yeah, the stream quality is not going to be the best because it's live audio through the cell phone. So it's not going to showcase as hi-fi as I wish. If I find a song that's actually really cool, what I might do is a song demo with a different camera. That way, after the live is finished, you guys can come back and watch the video specifically for one of the songs, and then the audio quality will be better. For now, we're just chatting live. We're just going to have some fun with these songs. Let's check the next song. That Moon Loop, Krishna's Flute, Lo-Fi Floating Dream. This is probably some very relaxing sort of tune. Again, I was saying as my stream started today, a lot of this playlist is going to be influenced by the fact that I loaded a new playlist this last little while to help me get to sleep, and this is one of those songs. Let's say what's going on. Andy's saying definitely huge speakers. Yes, they are. They're about 45 inches tall, plus the footers, and then the subs are a 12-inch sub. And then I've got two subs in the room, plus two 500-watt monoblocks, all that kind of stuff. That's what's going on. If you guys want to see the whole room, give me a second. There's the whole room set up with insulation and soundproofing. I've got my preamp over here with the streamer in the background. Yeah, it is what it is. I guess it's a comment about Lindsey Sterling. Chabi Morakan, I don't know who that is. But again, I'm going to say for those who are tuning in, this is a release radar playlist. I'm not taking requests. This isn't a radio station. John Doe is asking, John Doe, geez, I hope you're still alive, my friend. You didn't get that nickname from the hospital. The main speakers, these ones here, these are Arendal 1723 THX towers. Neat and tidy amp stands. Yeah, bro, I made those stands myself. Let me switch the view. Yeah, those speaker stands are a pair of dresser drawer feet and a cutting board. And then I've got cable risers in the back there too. You might be able to see. So right underneath the cable, the power cables, I've got these little stands. Just a little something, you know what I mean, decorative. So there's the song playing now. If anybody's curious, we'll move on to the next one. I do appreciate everybody being here, but I also want my friends, my new friends, those who are tuning in, to realize each video, each upload is usually focused on a certain theme, and my lives are Pretty focused on those things, give or take. If you've got questions, you've got requests, I mean, there are options to add a little bit of moolah, super chats, things like that. If you want to hear Still Dre, drop like $2. I'll play it. It's a lot. I'm just saying, you know what, this is public. It's not my job. And I'm not necessarily getting paid for this because let's face it, these songs are going to get copywritten. I'm not going to make any money on it. I'm not here making money anyways. That's not really the point. The point's just to have some conversation and chill out. And true voice of reasons here. What's going on? John Doe's, I'm into Bryston and old Infinities, Kappa 8s and 7s. Yo, those are really, really old school. I do appreciate Bryston. They're actually made around the corner from me. Well, I wouldn't say around the corner, but pretty close. I am within driving distance from Bryston. Amin is still asking for Moroccan Chabi, please, but I don't see any money show up in my chat, so sorry, my friend. I can look it up, but I won't be playing it because you're asking. Laurie Basilio, this is a guitarist, sort of on the release radar list. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the list sort of this week. It's very mixed. I've got EDM and drum and bass tracks and some jazz and some lo-fi stuff. Pretty cool so far. You guys, are the flickering lights distracting? Should I change them? Is that too much? How's that? If you guys want to know what's going on with the lights, hold on a second. Ooh, that's my face. What's my face doing in here? Oh, gross. So that's the lights that are going on behind the speakers. It's just one of those corner LEDs that responds to the music, and I've just got them pointed at the back corner. So from the front of the speakers, you can't see the light source, but they're just sort of like pointing in the back corners. Pretty cool, yeah? And then the stands, yeah. It's just a cutting board with some legs just attached to it. And then the cable risers. You guys know what these are if you're in audio. These ones I picked up at a special sort of deal, so I'm not really going to say much about them. I'd love to sell them like open market, brand them, but that's a long, big project, so we'll have to see what goes on. Sir Can Yurley is here. What's going on? Color organ? Yeah, basically. I do have Axiom here, though. That's an Axiom speaker. You do know that Bryston and Axiom are the same company now. So it's an Axiom center channel that I got a while ago, just using it as a stand. So anyways, let me get into my seat down here. If you guys appreciate what's going on, I appreciate you being here. Thank you. I try to do this once a week, mostly on the weekends. My work schedule is pretty tight, so I only do what I can do. All right, let's see what else is up. Living, this is, let me see. Where are we on my list? Jan Gunnar Hoff Group. So this is probably some easy listening jazz stuff. So my list is not all like hardcore, and I'm in, my friend. You got to stop requesting songs. I've already said politely, this isn't a radio station. I'm not playing songs that people are suggesting. I can write them down. You can comment them afterwards. I'll look them up. I'll listen to them, but I won't be playing any requests. How much money the big speakers? Right now, I believe these are about 4,700 US, 48, depending on, wherever you look. They're factory direct. They're 4 8-inch woofers with the 1-inch dome tweeter inside the waveguide. They're roughly 45 inches tall. Again, that's 1723 THX towers. They might be 5,200 US, but I mean, very reasonable, and they're factory direct. So you're getting a lot of speaker for that price. Let me see. Let me flip this over. I do have them lit up from underneath, so they look like they're a bit shapely there. They do lean back into the room though, so from front to back they are leaning. Absolutely. I think these are some of the best you can get. If you're looking for like a mid-sized tower for a room with extension into the 30 hertz, these are some of the best you can get. They're certainly the best that I've ever had, and I've had a number of different brands. I've had Paradigm before. The Signature series was the best that I owned. I wish that I had kept those. I can show you a photo in here in a minute. They curve sort of like infinities on the corners. Yeah, they're chamfered on the corners. If you want me to get up close in a second, I'll bring the camera up and continue on with my playlist here. Got to try and stay focused. ADHD really kicks my ass. People asking questions, I got distracted. Valery, what's this? Val Early Stepanov. So this is a jazz song, absolutely. And for my friend John Doe, we're gonna get in close and check out these speakers. And for anybody else, they do make bookshelves. They make a smaller series. They make the 1961 series. So yeah, they have the chamfered edges, right? They do lean back in the room. I'm not sure if you can tell, but say if you take this as your straight line, and you can see that from the bottom to the top, they lean back into the room. And then the back of the speaker, pretty good stuff. You've got 3 different ports. You can plug them, you can bi-amp them, rhodium plated, THX certified. They're actually really good. I've enjoyed these a lot. I mean, I'm running some really powerful Class D amplifiers too, and these are only like 7 pounds. really light amplifiers, but lots of power, lots of extra capacitance in it, and then the subs just fill in the bass. You know, from 30 hertz, 40 hertz downwards, and to balance the room, because the room isn't really that big. You know, if I'm honest, there's not that much going on in here. It's special for this arrangement. I've got curtains to absorb on this side, curtains to absorb on this side, a little bit of reflective surfaces here, so it makes the room sound a little bit bigger. And Theseus is saying he hasn't seen the room in a while, so there you go. Specifically set up for 2-channel. There's nothing else in here. This is actually supposed to be my bedroom, but I live in an apartment, right? And I decided that I wanted a dedicated space for 2-channel, and I put my bed in the dining room. Pretty ridiculous idea, but you know what? It is what it is. And we just out here. It's a pretty cool day out here in my neighborhood. Is what it is. All right, let's get back to the music, shall we? I've done enough distracting sort of content. But thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. And again, I'm doing these live because I like to have conversations with my friends rather than just make a video and then let people watch it and then come back for the comments. It's much easier for me to just run it live, have my friend show up. Like Trones is here. Welcome, my friend. Wow, this is a long track. That's only 3 minutes and there's like 15 left. So we're not going to wait for that one. Street Life, Brownie. This is a jazzy, funky track if I ever heard one. Get down on it. Trons, my friend, how's it going, sir? Hopefully everybody's doing well. All my friends in the chat here. I see 9 people, 8 likes. I appreciate that. I've had a number of people asking for songs. Now, I will keep the chat active. I will be able to go back and have a look at the song titles so I can look them up for next week. And like I said, any kind of support or subscription or whatever, that stuff helps. And if you stick around and you are a regular, then there's a higher chance that I'll play some songs that you like and I can test some stuff out. And if you're a bass head and that kind of thing, and you really like to hear bass tracks, give me a suggestion. I'll try them out, maybe make a video about it, and we'll see what happens. All right, let's hit the next song, see what's going on. Nick Nocturnal, heavy metal head, decided to put together like a best of playlist here, so we'll see what he came up with. And again, if you don't like it, give it 30 seconds, we'll switch it up. I actually like it. It's recorded very well. Reading through mail while listening to your playlist actually sounds pretty good for the phone. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm hoping that it does. And I know it's not as good as my other camera, but it just has to get us through, right? That's why I'm showing the title of the songs on screen, so if anybody's really curious, they can look it up themselves. Okay, we're going to turn it down a little bit. Bjorn Lynn, violin and cello here probably. Like I said, if you just wait 30 seconds, the song's changed and we'll come up with something new. So Devil in the Details. Ain't that the truth for many of our lives? Yeah, I like it a little more gentle. When the lights are racing like that, it's a little bit distracting. So this is Bjorn Lynn, and we've only got a number of tracks left. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tracks left. So if you hang out with me for 9 more tracks, we'll appreciate it, and we'll get on with the rest of the day, see what other songs I can find. I do appreciate everybody being here. John Trones, True Voice of Reason, Anthesius was around for a bit. Sirkan was here. Let me see who else I missed. Early on, Undy came in and was looking for bass tracks, but I think he probably dipped out. He or she, I don't want to presume, it could be anybody. Early on, we had some new names. All right, let's give Bjorn a skip. Lauren Balf? Lauren Balf? How do you pronounce the name? I don't know. This is a soundtrack from something. It's a composer for movies mostly. I don't know where to put my phone. Can I put it here? Can't put it here. I can block everything. Can I put it here? Is that good enough? Island hopping. Sounds pretty cool. Let's get one in for the drum and bass crew. Actually, it's not drum and bass. We're one away from that. Minors? Oh, Mystique from Instagram is involved with this one. That's pretty cool. MISSTIQ from Australia, as far as I remember. Minors? Minors? I don't know. Sounds pretty flat, honestly. The mastering sounds a little flat. Audio, one of my favorite drum and bass DJs. This one's called Ricochet. I imagine this one's going to get pretty loud, so if you're still in the chat, however you're listening, I would say hang on for this one. This one might be really entertaining. In front of the mirror blocks the view of the feet. Yeah. For those who don't know, a lot of the really picky fans online are like, "Oh my God, don't show your feet or your pants." That's so weird. Why would you do that? Blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as they say don't do it, I just do it more. So anyways, get ready for this one. This is audio ricochet.
Wherever you are, take cover.
Oh yeah. That's got some bass in it. That's why we do it right there. Oh, that's a lot of fun. I knew Audio was going to bring the heat on that one. Audio is a really good artist. All right, that was Ricochet. I'm going to play a bad DJ and skip it in the middle. This one's called A Passage by Our Chronicle. Now, this band's been going around in the metal scene recently for some of their new vibes. So I have a fantastic experience for you. Tokyo Myers Bloodstream. Interesting. So I'm going to have to write that one down or commented it again so I can remember. I think in the live stream the comments will I think the comments will stick around, so I'll be able to look it up later, but I appreciate that. We'll get through this release radar for today though. This one's called A Passage. Not a bad singing voice. Sounds muffled behind something though, distorted. There's an effect on it of some kind. Very nice drum sounds though. All right, we're gonna move on. This one's gonna be drum and bass as far as I know. Face and Ruina. Apple driver. It's a pretty funny picture there. It's like a dirt bike with apples as tires. So Face is pretty much known for drum and bass, so we're going to see how this drops out. Should be entertaining. I appreciate all the attention, the likes, the views. I know that some people may be on either their phone or a TV. Either way, the playlist is here just to suggest some songs. If something comes up that's cool, then that's great. If we go through it and there's nothing for us, you know, that's what it means to be open-minded, is to take a chance, have a listen, see if you like it or not, and then sometimes even on the first listen we don't like it. It might need like 1 or 2 listens. Like one of Tool's recent albums, I didn't like it very much. I had to listen to Tool's album 3 times. And then then I'm like, oh, okay, this sounds good. So this is Face and Ruina. Just wait for the drop to come in. And then we've got 4 more songs and then we're out of here. So Arundel Towers, SVS subs, Buckeye amplifiers. Ooh! Oh shit! Oh my god. Oh, I gotta do a reaction to this one. I gotta put this on a video. That is absolutely crazy. I love it. Oh, that's a good track. Oh my god. Somebody called for bass earlier. There it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I don't know how many people out there have a system attached to YouTube right now, but that was absolutely crazy. The bass line kicked in and that was holy shit. BKHD just came in and said this track goes silly on the subs. Oh my god, we have half the song left. Look at this. Does everybody agree? Do you need a thumbs up and you see reactions and say, do we want to hear the rest of this song and just let it go? Because that was crazy. Oh my god. I didn't expect to hear that. I mean, I know Face is a really good artist and everything, but that's awesome. Wow. Wow. Holy. So for anybody curious, that's Face and Ruina. It's all called Apple Driver. This is crazy. I wonder if I can get the SVS sub reactions in there. The sound's gonna change because I'll be moving around, but I think it might be worth it. But they're not really flexing that much. That's the thing about this room. I get a lot of volume, but the subs don't move a lot. It just, you get sound power. You don't get movement. You know what I mean? I'm not a speaker excursion specialist. I just find the coolest tracks and then we have fun with them.
Check this out.
Oh my god. Oh, he grinds into high frequency. You can't even see anything. They're not even moving. Yeah, you can't see anything, but oh, that's gnarly. I love it. Oh, that's so good. All right, we're gonna put it down. We're gonna dial it back. Hold on. We're gonna dial it back here. Give me a bit. Holy shit! You guys hear that? That was crazy. I love these tracks. That's why I do this. Every once in a while you get these wicked bangers and like, where would we be if we didn't take a chance, right? Where would we be if we didn't take a chance? All right, we got a couple more songs to go through. BKHD said, do you do request or is it the set playlist? Well, today, this is purposefully on the release radar, just for this stream. So I'm doing these songs, specifically whatever Spotify has come up with this week. Like now they're playing some Samuel Kim. He does remixes of epic songs. And maybe at another stream and another time, if I get some support or I see some interest, then maybe I'll do requests. But I mean, I would prefer to do requests for like a group that's willing to like, say, because I'm not a DJ, I'm not on a paid gig, I don't get any money for it because it's copyright. I could play some tunes for fun, but you know, it's not a free, you know, thing. I like being entertaining, and I do appreciate the suggestions. I'll definitely try them out and give my thoughts later on. Maybe a YouTube short or something. So lay the suggestions out, but we'll get around to it. I should do a request only, but that might be for like I don't have like a subscriber channel, but I have a Discord, so see what happens. All right, let's hit 3 more songs. We're almost out of here. Donnie and Hallucinator. Any bets this song is going to be bananas? Look at the cover. Symptomless Coma. What the hell? True Voice of Reason, thanks for the backup on these. Yeah, the bass on that last track was nuts.
3 years ago, and since then, the number of cases has been steadily increasing. To watch the patient in a state of unavoidable decline.
So this song and 2 more, and then we're out of here.
When the dreadful day comes,
Igloo Host, Yellow Umbra.
make it as easy as possible for
Oh, interesting. I'll have to write it down.
their hopes are very unrealistic.
Definitely cool. BKHD with the suggestions.
Runs against every instant I have.
I knew this one was going to be a little bit wild. I could feel it coming.
Symptomless coma.
Yeah. True Voice of Reason. I have a symptomless coma every night. Donnie and Hallucinator. Yeah, that one goes hard. All right. This one's going to get me blocked. I can't play it. Andre Bocelli songs always get my streams blocked. So you can see the title, but I can't play it. And YG has been very popular for the last little while. So Left Right by YG is our last tune. Cool, cool, cool. BK's like, oh, just reaching a little bit. It's like, unless you can tag it on the end of the stream. Like, come on, man, please. BKH, he's like, sorry, it's a bit cheeky. All right, you know what? Just because I'm feeling in a good mood. There. Just to prove that I'm not a stick in the mud, not one of these like, you know, you need to serve me and pay me money and blah, blah, blah. We're having some fun, and interacting here is actually what it's all about. Having a good time with people, being in the audio business isn't about gatekeeping and telling people what you can or can't have. So I want to do this just for the fun of it. We'll see what this is all about. And it is a very audiophile-ish track. There's a lot of glitchy stuff that's going on. It reminds me of Fele and Cloudlight. There's another artist. I can't remember what his name is. Probably in the suggested. So anyways, this is from Ley Line Eon, the album, and you can hear some of the low bass comes in there, but you're not going to be able to see anything. We're at 2 minutes and 30 there now. If this disappoints me, you're getting banned. I'm just kidding. This isn't Twitch. If I was on Twitch, imagine. I wish I could do this on Twitch. Have multiple cameras, have one camera down by the subwoofer. No, I'll report back. You're not going to be able to get it through the camera, but I can report back on what I'm hearing. It's a pretty interesting album sound so far, and this is from 2021. So I imagine the new album's going to be even better. Tidal Memories, EXO. Hey, like I said, it's about being open-minded and taking a chance. So any kind of suggestions I get here, I'll go back through the chat and we'll see what we come up with. Reminds me a lot of Eamon Tobin, and he is the ISAM album, the Folly Room, the like going back in the day. Like Eamon Tobin's the one that really like set the stage for this kind of music, in my opinion. It's very sort of interesting. It's ambient, but it's got like these bass pulses in the background. But I obviously need like 4 more subwoofers in here to really get the benefit of it. Pretty interesting stuff. Very sort of like purposeful listen, that's for sure. I'm just gonna say I've heard better. Anyways, that'll be enough for me. And we're about, what are we at? 50 some odd minutes. That's more than I suggested. But anyways, that's the Release Radar playlist. That's essentially what I'll give out like once every week. I have a number of different playlists in here. You can see that I have a weekly discovery playlist, which sometimes I'll also go through and it'll give me a whole bunch of new stuff that I've listened to based on the suggestions that I was given. So I may do that one, I may not. If anybody's really curious, you guys can follow along with everything that's going on here. It's the same as the YouTube. I've only got, what have I got? 68 followers. If anybody wants to make that 69 to make it funny, that'll be hilarious. Let me zoom in, show you that. See, 68 followers as of right now. And look how many I'm following. Of course, that's the way it is. So I have a number of different stuff in here, all of my different playlists. I have lots and lots of stuff. Lots and lots of playlists. Public library. I've got the audiophile HiFi selections playlist. That one will be for like all the HiFi content if you want to test your systems. And then this one is a massive playlist. 270 hours of music. It's like 3,200 songs. You guys can check all that stuff out on the playlist. They are sealed subs. Let me wander around the room. Actually, let me put something on in the background. I've got some copyright music that I can play. Copyright free. Alrighty then. You guys want a system tour to end this off? All right. So the towers are ported. Like I was showing earlier, there are 3 ports down there. The bottom one's plugged as recommended. So about 35, 33 hertz. There's the amp plate there, and then the woofer there. So it is small sealed. And right now I've got them both on the ISO acoustics pads. Hold on, let me get down low. There you go. There's the ISO acoustics pads. So that's an isolation pad. that protects the speaker from the floor. Same thing with the towers. They're isolated from the floor, so all the sub frequencies are actually in the cabinet. And it's amazing when I added it. I know a lot of people talk about adding products and what matters and what doesn't, but if I'm really honest, and I always am, it reduced the amount of vibration in the cabinet. So when I had them in here before, if you put your hand on the cabinet and you just felt the bass through the cabinet, the whole thing would shake when it was on the carpet. But since I've added the isolation pad, it absorbs the extra frequencies and the cabinet stopped moving and the bass got tighter. Same thing with the towers. It tightened up the bass. The clarity on the tweeters opened up because the whole cabinet wasn't shaking anymore. It's absorbed into the rubber on the bottom and into the feet, and it doesn't transfer and reverberate back through the tower and the sub from the floor. So there's no more like hard interactions between them. So they actually work. It's one of the best upgrades that I ever made in my HiFi system. And I don't get paid for any of that, so I'm just being honest. That's literally what happened when I plugged them in and got to use them. So I can't say anything about that power cable. It just looks cool. And the same thing with the cable risers there. I don't know that those are doing anything for the sound, so don't quote me. I'm just doing it to keep them off the floor. Honestly, this mirror between the speakers is probably doing more for the sound than those cable risers. The same thing with the treatments on the walls and the treatments on the ceiling, and doing like your angles and making sure that everything is straight and, you know, that kind of thing. BKHD saying my dual 12s just sit on the floor, shakes everything. Might try isolating them now somehow. 100%, you know, you might be able to find, I don't know if I can tilt these back. I want to show you what they are, but I don't want to ruin no, I can't really, the whole thing comes up. Oh shit, now see, look what I did. Now I got to hold my camera and fix it. Fuck. Probably have to fix the whole thing now too. There's a bunch. Oh, I done messed up now. Okay. I don't know how much of that y'all could see, but anyways, so there's spikes that go through the carpet into the concrete, and it helps stabilize the system. So anyways, it's 4 pads together with a ring. It's sort of like what I have on my other speakers. You guys hold on. I'll show you my other system since you guys seem to be new. They're kind of like these. So these are for the bookshelf models. And I have a bunch of stuff out here. So these are the 4-footers held together with the bars. So it's like 4 feet attached to one piece, instead of like the towers where each foot has its own pad. And they're called Aperta. And you could probably find them used. They're not even all that much, but getting them off the floor means the bass, you might not feel it in the room, but the sound quality would be improved if you did that. So I don't run REW. I know that a lot of people swear by it, but I haven't had, because I'm using a Mac and I don't have the microphone. That's really what I'm missing. I've never run REW or PEQs. I have no way to adjust it anyways. Even if I ran REW, how would I change it? How would I change the sound profile? I need a piece of hardware to adjust the PEQ, and I don't have anything in my system. Like right now, this is a 2-channel system that has a Rotel preamp that has no adjustments. It's got bass and treble, but if I ran REW, it would give me a fancy chart, and I'd have no way to change it. It would just be me and my speakers and then a chart of numbers, and then it wouldn't really amount to anything. So no, I don't have REW run in my room. I did an analysis. I did a white noise analysis with my phone with other microphones. So I've done sort of like an RTA of the room. Kind of thing. And then I use this to compare across the white noise for bass frequencies, high frequency dispersion, toe in and out, one speaker at a time, speakers together. And then I used mostly into this bottom range to figure out what I can do with my subs to make sure that there's not like a weird peak or boominess in the room. So I just use this as best as I can and just position my room and like move my seat around and that kind of thing in my room. But no REW yet. You know, there's no way to implement the profile. I'd have to buy devices in order to solve that problem. And to me, anytime you have to buy a device to solve a problem, it's just somebody trying to sell you some shit. So BKHD saying, I bought a Behringer measurement mic and created a REW EQ profile for my setup. Absolutely. EQ Mac. So James Rootless DSP. So what device is actually applying the EQ curve? Right? Like that's what I need to know, because in here it's just the Rotel and my amps. There's nothing, even if I knew what the EQ profile was, I don't have any way to EQ it, right? I'm not running it from a computer. There's a streamer there. The streamer has a EQ settings in it, you know, somewhat, a little bit of PEQ, but not much. But between the Rotel and the amps, there's nothing. Most of the DSP stuff is done in the sub for the bass frequencies. I use the SVS settings to adjust the phase alignment and the PEQ in the sub to make sure that I have those nulls and some of that detail ironed out. But the room itself it's done for sound based on the way it sounds. Like, not a microphone, just me in the room and how I like it. So, in the car, yeah, that makes sense. Rootless DSP applies the EQ. Okay, yeah. So in a system like this, I don't know where that would fit in. 2-channel systems are much less technical. Anything that you want to change in the system, you have to do it by moving it around mostly. So piece plus APO equalizer on Windows. So yeah, so the computer is doing the work before the stream is output to preamp, which I don't have. You know, I don't have a device in the chain that actually applies. I'm not using anything like that in the loop. So what is a piece? Anyways, piece is that, what is that? I'm not even familiar. On this very lazy Saturday afternoon, learning some stuff in here, that's for sure. Get this position the right way. Yeah, it's actually, you know, I don't find that there's anything really missing in the room. It's boomy because it's a small room. The subs are dialed in, phase controlled, so I get a little bit of benefit there. APO EQ lets you set up profiles, different headphones. Oh, okay, that's cool. So it's a software interface to manage DSP applied to output sounds. So, but it's still from the computer. So in my case, because I don't stream from a computer, I can't do that. Yeah, I don't really feel like I need much adjustment at all. I've done I've done sweeps in here. I've done RTA sweeps in here with my phone, and I could maybe get something, you know what I mean? But then, like I said, unless I got a rack-mounted DSP device that goes in here, and you know, I would need a DSP controlled unit before my preamp, because otherwise, you know, I don't have any way to figure it out. BKHDs, are you just using your phone as a remote to Spotify? Yes. This is how it's actually running. And the only way for me to actually show what's going on, you're gonna have to bear with me here. Jesus Christ. I don't have the profile on here. No! Did I not set it up? Huh! I didn't even set it up. So it's actually, this is a remote to my Weem Pro Plus. And then the Weem Pro Plus is coax 192 coax PCM to the preamp, and then the preamp is XLR to the amplifiers. So that's how it's. No, actually, NCE beat. No, we're just having a chat here that's not loud. I have it turned down. It's not to showcase any music at this point. So I'll showcase it on my phone. We can do that, because how I'm actually running it is here. So this is the app that's actually the streamer that's actually running the song. Right? So this is what's actually going on. So if I go in here, and then where's my settings? Room correction. I have room correction off right now. So EQ is off. So yeah, that's what I was applying. And then there's some of the settings for the PEQ inside of the Weem Home app. So I have some options up to 10 bands, but they're all off. And then this is the only one that's on, because my room is boomy as hell. It's that hot frequency right around that point, but this is off. This isn't actually turned on right now. And then the other thing that I've been doing is the SVS app also has some controls. I've got them dialed down. That's -10 there. And then what are my options? You see my phase. That's actually not right, because the subs are not tuned in. Bluetooth, wake up. So now it's going to connect to my subs. So there's my left. So it's actually down by 14. Damn. And then my polarity's fine. Oh my goodness. What the shit? Do I not know how to use this app? It's just because I'm streaming. Okay, I have to look around the stream for my fingers to be in the right spot. There. My phase is 30 off. And then my PEQ, there you go. So like my 48 hertz is down by like a lot. It's down by 6 because I'm really boomy in this room. So, you could import REW EQ into that. It's got parametric. Yeah, I could. If I had REW, then it would only affect the streaming. It wouldn't affect my CD player. Do you see what I mean about total control? Is I could do EQ adjustments on my streaming because of the Weem Pro Plus and whatever quality is. But then if I try to play anything on the CD player, then it wouldn't work. So it's not like a end-all solution. And it would work, but the real problem is just the bass. The bass frequencies are really the issue. And now that I've got them sort of sorted out, I don't really need to push it any further than that, because to be honest with you, like, I'm happy with the way it sounds. And you know what they say, ignorance is bliss. So if I turn on REW, and I start to see numbers, then I get the same anxiety that everybody else looks at. You know, they look at numbers and think, oh shit, you know, it's got this and it's got that. And then all of a sudden you're like chasing the dragon. You're like, oh, I got to do this and I got to adjust that. And every time I look at it again, it's like, oh, damn, I have this problem and that problem. And then you have to buy this and then buy that and then spend time doing this. And then all that time tweaking, you could just sit down and listen to music. I'm just one of those types. I mean, I'm aware, but I choose not to care. Sounds good. Sounds good enough to me. I had a lot of fun today with my friends in chat. We had some cool songs playing, you know. No need for me to keep pushing it harder if it's only going to get me, what, 5% more? Yeah. So doing it globally, yeah, would be to put like the DSP unit in the XLR path or something like that, because then, like, even then, like, where would I put it? Like, I would put it between the preamp and the amps. I don't know. I don't even know how to do that, because you'd have to EQ the RCA or coaxial signals into a DSP unit and then run it through the DAC, and then this has got the DAC, and then I'm like adding another device in the system, and like, Jesus, audiophile paralysis. No way. I think I'm good. Honestly, I think I'm good. I came a long way to get to where these are at now, and they've been pretty comfortable. So subbed. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Need to know what genres you prefer to suggest some good shit. Everything. Doesn't matter. As long as it's good, it's produced well, it doesn't sound like Honda Civic bass rattling trunk bullshit, then I'm good. As long as it's not like absolute trash when you turn it on, and it doesn't sound like, you know, really, really gimmicky music business industry, you know, deliberate music, then cool. Any genre, I listen to everything from jazz and classical right up to Lorna Shore. You know, I listen to everything. And I've had some crazy songs on in here. I have some preferences, but as far as just learning new stuff, then I'm good. I mean, even a buddy of mine at work suggested that I start listening to some like worlds kind of music. And then I started listening to, what was it? I got this really, really interesting like Indian singer on my playlist. And then everything on my playlist turned like half Bollywood. It's kind of funny. I don't know where my playlist is now. Where the hell is it? I have it listed as like world music, but I don't see it now. Anyhow, I think that's enough for a stream. We've been on here an hour and 13 minutes. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. True voice of reason. Hopefully you got your emailing doing. You listen to everything and are open to even more. That's what I like about you. Man, come on, don't do that. I'm going to make a mess here on my couch. Don't give me that kind of compliment. But you're right. And I try to encourage the same thing in other people, is just be open, take a chance. It's just music. Like at the most, you're going to waste, 10 seconds listening to a song. If I just hit random on my playlist and Spotify like throws a song at me, like, let's do an experiment. We're gonna open up the phone. Now you guys know my pattern, but it doesn't matter. You're never gonna get to my phone anyways. Then we're gonna go to, they have this, unless they decided to take it off. So they have this DJ app. The DJ app on Spotify plays some suggestions for you. Check this out.
Glad to be your DJ. I know what you listen to. I see Sleep Token there, so I'm going to be here every day playing those artists you got in rotation, going back into your history for songs you used to love, and I'm always on the lookout for new stuff too, just to push your boundaries a little bit. I'm going to come back every few songs to change up the vibe. But if you're ever not feeling the music, there's going to be a DJ button at the bottom of your screen. Tap that, and I'll come back early to switch it up. All right, enough talk. I mentioned Sleep Token. Let's get it going with that and some other artists in that zone.
This is going to get me blocked too. But anyways, you just play the... Oh, this went up on my Instagram. This is actually a pretty cool song. Check this out. Sounds like helicopter bass. It's worth it. Hang on. Bear with me. This will be the last one.
Give it to me. I like it. Give it to me.
Right? Could be anything. Yeah, I listen to a lot of different music, so is what it is. All right. Thank you to my friends for joining. I appreciate it. I'm around here pretty much every Saturday. Try to do a live with my friends. And then unless they get blocked, the videos will be online. I may do a little bit of a song reaction or a video just to capture some extra stuff. The technology and the system hasn't changed a lot in here. I have the same system that I've had for a number of weeks. So all the videos about the products that I have are already posted. If you go back in the history, if you want to know more about any of the stuff that I got, I've got videos for pretty much everything here. I've talked about a lot of it multiple times. So we can go back in history and check it out. And then all comments on the shorts, on the YouTube, Instagram and Facebook, all the same name. I'm really easy to get a hold of in terms of that. So feel free, send the message, follow anywhere, follow all the different kinds of content. It's a mix between audio and psychology stuff because I care about like how we think and process things as human beings, you know, civilization. And if we don't have healthy society, none of this stuff matters at the end of the day. Like, this is fun and entertaining, but we need a healthy society to enjoy it. So check me out. Thank you for being here. I'll check everybody out next week. And in the meantime, I've got a couple other videos or ideas coming down the pipeline. Then we'll check in then. All right. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. Let's do it. All right. See you, everybody.